Welcome to the tr6 parts video. Today's video, seat covers. Again. So, on the first video I've done about these, somebody said that a lot of the stuff I've done was out of shot or that you couldn't see it. So I'm going to do the base of it this again, just so people can see it. I'm going to do it a slightly different way because I have to rethinking about it. I thought maybe another way we could do this, so let me try this way. Obviously the first thing we're going to do is put on the front piece. It comes with a shiny side and a dull side. It's also curved on one end and straight on the other. I'm pretty sure every kit is the same. To be honest, I leave the straight end up the top, personally. You can do whatever way you want, because I just want to make sure that that actually does get wrapped around there. The bottom I'm not concerned about really the most, but to be honest, it should cover both, but that's just my way of doing it. Is it exact? I don't know, but so what we do is you basically find halfway. So just fold it in half. And then you know when you fold it in half, that's your midpoint, and you can start from there, and you should be able to stretch it all the way through. So, alright, let's get going. Alright, so I'm just putting a small bit on first, just to get the middle of it going. So I've basically just done a little section here. And this is just so it will hold in place, so when I pull it and stretch it, I can go down. Now, I'm sorry for the lighting, unfortunately, it's obviously early enough in the daytime. The light is coming in. If I move this, hopefully be a little better. See, I know there is a shadow. Alright, now that's pretty much holding in place. I'm going to finish spraying the rest of it. You can spray the seat as well if you want. Like the metal, all the same. Just make sure there's some on it. So again, the purpose of this is just for when the vinyl comes around, that it is protected, that it doesn't catch the edges and rip, in case the seat was never actually reconditioned. So that's the main purpose of this. Obviously doing this video now in one go, it's going to take a little longer obviously because I have to try and wait for this to stick. And I'm going to show you, when you get to the point where you do the foam and start moving to the vinyl, if you're doing it in one go, I'll show you what I use to get the glue off me pretty quick. I don't even know there's glue on there. Again, I'm not too worried about the bottom end because when it gets pulled around, it's going to pull it anyway. So I'm not overly concerned about it. As long as there's enough materials there, that's fine. It's going to be sticky. Get to that point where you put so much on, you have to wait for it to get sticky. Hopefully that's enough there. The top, that's fine. Now do the far side. These are frustrating. Like I said, they are frustrating to do. The thing is though, most of this material foam you can get like pretty much like a fabric land and all that. So you can, if you want to add more on, you can. Like people put the birch cover over this and the back before they put the foam on. You have a few choices. A number of options to do. Again, it's a personal preference. Obviously, the more foam you put on, the more plush they'll be. But then you're also around the fact that they're going to be harder to put on because you have more foam in there, so the covers have to cover it. So therefore, it's makes it a little harder for it to stick. So like I've done in the other video, when I put the foam together, like I said, I came up with another way of doing it that may work out a little better. But it's all about progression. It's all about finding different ways. And unfortunately, it'd be nice to be able to try this different ways, but as you know yourself, they're expensive. The foam kits are ridiculous. Like, how on earth they rate to charge that amount, I do not know, but that's what they do. So what you could do is you can always go to like Fabricland and get basic foam and just start practicing sticking it together and so on and so forth before you want to challenge this, if you want to do it, so you don't ruin it. Because if you do it quick, yes, you can take it off and it won't affect it. However, once you let it set, when you start pulling it, you are going to pull chunks of foam and it's going to look like the lunar surface. I know, it happens all the time. Same as the interior kit, you get it so long, you take it off and it leaves a mess. Alright. This will eventually stick. It's just something to put a lot of blob of glue on it. Alright, so that part is pretty much on. I'm going to leave that. Alright, so let's come to the more important part, is the foam. So, first piece of foam we come to is this, the base piece. It's important that the narrow end is at the bottom and comes up, so this sits on the actual seat itself. Now, obviously they're made too big, like I said in the previous video, is they're made too big. But the only real way around it to make it easier is to shorten it. So if I place it on it, to where it's going to sit, what I'll do is I'll take a marker, and I'll mark pretty close to the line here where it's going to go. Same on this side. And then I'll indent it, so I'll push it in the back, and I'll say, right, it comes out to roughly about here. I start at the bottom. So now it gives me a little indication of where this point is, here, to the bottom. So now I know, hey, I can take this much off, and then that's just fit a lot easier. So I'll do the same on the far side. Again, it's just a rough idea, just to make life a little easier, because it is a squash, and the more you squash in there, the worse it is. So there's the markings there. So I just got a nice blade, sharp X-Acto. One. Two. Alright, so now I know when I go to sit it on, it's going to sit in so much better that it just sits in that groove. And it'll line up pretty damn good. So again, it saves you that crunching and squashing putting it in when you go to foam it on. Now at this point I normally glue this on and I start the next part, but actually I'm not going to. So this is what I thought about when somebody mentioned in the comment that they couldn't see it. How can I do it a little better? Well, let me see. So let me check the camera that you can see. Now, I know it's awful bright, but it's such a shine off it. The next part is here. This one. So I came up with this idea now of, instead of gluing this to the seat and then gluing this on top of it, I'm going to actually do this whole section off the seat. So in other words, if I use the foam, if I was to glue this to it now, right, I could get it pretty good. And then what I'm actually going to do, and I only thought about this, is that I'm going to use the same cutout as I done to cut this section out. So I'm going to cut the same cutout. And then that way it'll give me an idea, a better idea where it's going to slip in. But before I get to that stage, I'm going to put the seat cover on. Now, as I said in the previous video, what I do is you turn the seat cover inside out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and flip it upside down. I better put this knife away before I open it. Now, I've always done it where, when I've had this glued down onto the foam, the seat cover will go down and this piece I'd always put over here. And then the next one will pull over again. But I don't know how the top of it was that. That's what I was saying in the last video. I've put it here. I'm trying to get it to go down, but I'm pulling this fabric upwards. So you're trying to get something to go down, but pulling up, it doesn't make any sense. So I said, well, do you know what? Why don't I put it under it? So that's what I'm going to do. So basically I'm going to flip it upside down. And I'm now going to glue this section under here. So this will keep it down. So now I'm going to put some, make sure I pick up the right one. I've done it before. I picked up the spray foam and I picked up the carb cleaner. Yeah, try put glue on after you put carb cleaner on. It doesn't work. So be mindful if you have another canister lying around. I've done it. There's me pressing and I'm wondering why it wasn't sticking until I realised when I looked at it, I'd sprayed it with carb cleaner. Yeah, good job, huh? That happens. Alright. So now, point this together to right up into the corner. Yeah, basically it's going to pull it over. I don't know if you can see it, but this little lip here, you want to make sure you get in as far as you can before you pull it, so it keeps it as low as it can, so it's as flush with the bottom as possible. And yes, you will end up with sticky hands after this, but I'm going to explain why I had carb cleaner beside me. Alright, so now this will go around. Okay, so now as you can see, I've basically glued this underneath. The next part will be to do the two sides as well. So these are going to come up as well. I'm going to do the exact same. I'm going to make sure that the seam, let me show you. I'm going to try and make sure that this seam here is right on the top here. So I'm going to make sure when I pull it, it's dug in. So this is as low as it can go. The thing about this material is that you don't get very long before it gets pretty sticky. You really don't get long at all. As I said, that's using the 3M stuff, which is pretty good. While my hands are sticky, I'm going to do the far side. Again, this is just, I'm lucky that I do so many of these that I have the opportunity to try different approaches in different ways. But it's certainly not an easy thing you want to be doing, because this stuff is expensive. I don't know if I can get any more on this. I don't really want to take that back off again though. Alright. So now I know that when it comes to putting this section over, that this, the next piece that comes over, that this is underneath, so it's now compressing it, which is where you want it. So this is what I was trying to say in the previous video. The seam here, hopefully you can see it. Look at the camera to see if you can see it. I know because of the light. This seam here, you want to go in this rib. You want to make sure it stays in this rib, because that's where the line is meant to go. It's meant to stay in line with it. So when you do it, pull it right in and try to keep it in line as best you can. So this seam has to basically go right across and in as you pull it over. And that will make sure that the line stays pretty much alongside. Well, it stays in line where it's meant to go, should I say. So, I'm going to do this in two sections. So I'm basically going to try something different. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put a little slice here, right down, that allows me to do two separate sides. I know, this is doing something a little different. And the reason why I'm not concerned about this, and I'll tell you why, what I thought about was that in the end, this material here is going to be pulled around anyway, so I'm not too concerned about this being tight. This is just to keep it in a position. So now it allows me to do both sides separately instead of one. So I really had a thought about this, about how to do it. How can I make it a little, well, not better, but how can I do it a different way that I can get a better finish? So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to start with the front. I'm just going to spray it first. Then make sure I pick up the right can. Hopefully let's see what we can do. We can get it to push in. Sorry, the doggy's barking in the background. I hear him. Doggy's always barking. And I was saying that the whole idea is to try and get this foam under the slip as you come along, just to because you want to keep that will keep it plush. And someone probably thought I said flush. I know plush with a P, because that means puffed up. Alright, there's one side looking, now look at the inside and see how it is. So at any point, if you're going to remove at any point, it'd be this. So I know it is, there's some blue in here actually. So I see it's kind of a little spread out. This is a sticky fingers job. So, a bit more spray. If you want, you can always put a little slice in here as well, which is what I'm going to do. Just to... And now I can pull it a bit more. So, I'm going to go over that. So it was in the way. So now there's about little ways of adapting. So I'll put a slit here, I'll put a slit here just to allow it to move a little easier, to get more room on moving it. I'm pretty good in there. Alright. So, same way on this side in case you missed it. So we're going to obviously spray along here. I'm going to put some spray here to make sure that this part sits in as well. And so I'm going to put a little slit already in the edge. Before I do it. Oh, nearly grabbed the wrong can, yeah. This is in. I'm trying to do it that you can see me do it at the same time. Obviously, when you're doing it yourself, it's going to be a little different. You're not going to be pulling the way I am. So there's no easy way of doing this without getting your hands sticky. Just getting the foam in. Like I said, the foam over the range. You want to push it in to create that the lift. It doesn't stick. Don't worry. You can always add more. I just need to look at it and see. I'm going to make sure she's pressed in here as well. Pressed in smooth. I'll just go back to where I missed with the spray. Again, if you need to put any more slices in here, by all means, there's nothing wrong with it. So this is only to hold the foam in position. Obviously, all the main work is going to be done when the actual vinyl comes around. That's where it's really held in. God, my hands are so sticky. I don't know, I'm finding a new way of doing this. I'm starting to like put these slits on it. I'm starting to see that it's making a difference, that I'm not getting all these wrinkles. Obviously, the last part is going to be pushing the vinyl over. Now, as I was saying, what I want to do is, now that this is like this, and I'm pretty happy the way it is. Now I'm going to put the foam on top of it. So obviously, wide end. I'm going to follow straight, because remember, it's going to have to. This is pushed in. It's actually pushed in already. Huh. Maybe I've discovered a new way of doing it, or else I'm just wrong. No, it looks like it's pushed in already. I was able to pull it in already. Alright, actually, you know what? I thought about I don't believe any ridge in the middle, any space. So, back to the seat. Remember, as I said, if you have a sensor to go in the seat and you put it in, you know, don't forget to do it there. Whew. Nice front. See how easy it is to get on without a little notch going over. Hopefully you can see. That little notch over makes a world of difference putting it on. And now I can glue this one down. I'll glue this one down. I'm going to put pressure on it, and then when it comes to the vinyl, I'm obviously going to take some glue off my hands to do it. So I just want to see how much do I need to cut it, or do I not? The last time I cut it because I needed it, but I didn't do it this way. Oh, I was thinking get away with that. Right, let's go with it. Let's go. I'm not shy of glue, that's for sure. I think the last time I quoted you it was like $16 for the spray. Obviously, they've gone up since that. It's gone up to like $20 odd now. Rip off. Alright. Sorry if my head gets in the way. So last time I'd done it, I brought this right down, so this is a different way of doing it. I want to see how this works when I do this one. I'll have to remember to press this down because I glued it. Alright, so now we're going to move on to the vinyl. So how do I have sticky hands? How do I get the stickiness off my hands? Well, between me and you, here's my quickest remedy. Let me move this out of the way. Brake cleaner. I don't know, maybe you agree, maybe you don't, but I've washed my hands from the spray glue God knows how many times and it doesn't come off. I find the brake cleaner takes it off pretty quick. Yeah, non-sticky hand. I was going to do. If you have any open cuts or sores, I'd recommend be careful of this. You can always wear gloves doing it, and just take them off and swap them out. Like, you don't need gloves on when it comes to the vinyl section really, because there's no glue involved, pretty much. Pretty much you can. Alright, glue-free hands. A little white, but glue-free. Now back to our seat. So now with this, basically the last thing to do is to fold it over and clip it in position. So I just want to fold it over because I don't want to leave it in this position for too long. Again, the only good thing about here is that with the sunlight beaming in, even though it's the winter, it's coming in the window. It certainly helping and soften up the vinyl. That's for sure. I'm just doing a roll over, so I just push the foam down and let it roll over. Now I have to adjust it. Okay. So this is where we start getting the stretch on. We'll start stretching it. Oh, hope you can see this. Let me zoom out so you can see. Hopefully that's it. Basically, we're just going to get the stretch and just stretch it, and that's where you start putting it on. And if you've seen the other videos, you'll see where I made a notch. See, our line is here, which is good. It's following where it should be. This is down. This one needs to be fluffed a bit more. That's pretty much it. So there's the seat cover on. Obviously that's going to go through here. But that's the base of it on. So other than that, we'll flip it over. We'll start putting some clips on. So where do we start from? It's a personal choice. I always start from the middle. I've got one on to get myself set to walk around. One, and again, this is where I was saying you need to put a slit in it. Around. Again, do two. If you have more of these clips, like I said before, the more clips you put on, the better. Hopefully you can see this. Hopefully I'm not out of frame again. Oh. Go check. I don't want to be out of frame. Go find some more clips. For me, I like to make sure I get one in the corner here, as close to the corner as I can. It says count them as you take them off, but you can always put more on. You can put more on than what should be on. No harm in that. It's recommended if you can. Put more on. Put more on. I'm finally going to put this one on, and after that I'll just tie up this end, but I don't have to do it right now. Some people just cut it out and glue it on. It's preference to that. That's just as a housekeeping. There's no right or wrong way to do it, as long as it's nice and tidy. And that's it now. There you go. That's a little loose. I'm going to take that off and stretch it a bit more. Are we looking for perfection? Absolutely, of course we are. That's what we want. But we take the best we can do, because otherwise somebody's going to pay somebody to do it. There we go. There's a nice. Oh, I don't want to push too much on the cardboard. There's a nice seat cover. And then this little one here. But that's it. Seat cover is on. Let's see. And that's pretty much it. So there's a different way of doing it. So basically, I thought of a different way of doing it. Again, find your own way of doing it. I putting obviously the fabric under the foam. Obviously, I think is a key thing to keeping this down. After that, it's your own choice whether you want to, which way you want to put it on. Again, you don't get instructions on this is the exact way to do it because everyone is a little different. Everyone has their own little way of doing it. Every kit is different. When I say every kit is different, sometimes you may get longer fabric, sometimes short. Maybe the foam was cut a little different. So that is guidelines really. So I hope this helps you do your own. As I said, it's worst case. As I said, if you're not sure, take it off. It's only foam. You can always stick it back on again. Yeah, that's it. So hopefully this is a bit more helpful. Hopefully you can see a bit more on what I've done to actually get this sort of finish. And again, yeah, make up your own way. Maybe you have your own way of doing it and it works great. That's it. So it's helpful. Hit the like button and thanks for watching.